Background Blues is an episode of Arthur that I really enjoyed. To be fair, I enjoy most of them, but this one did make me think. It's the first segment of the 4th episode of the 3rd season, and Mr. Ratburn has tasked everybody with looking into their family history and presenting a report on anything interesting or unique they find about their family history. Some of the characters are just doing a bit of research. They're not desperate to find, that golden nugget that connects them to somebody famous or wealthy or royal, but a couple of them are really desperate to try and prove that their family were important, and in particular we have Francine and Muffy. And they both begin to exaggerate the truth, in Muffy's case just outright lying, because they don't want to feel the shame, and I put that in air quotes, of having a very average normal family. This is obviously a big deal for Muffy, because Muffy, as the Crosswires, are very wealthy, they're very well off. She assumed that this would have been her lineage, but as she looked back, that wasn't necessarily the case. And one thing that did throw me, which is completely irrelevant, and for a children's show it doesn't matter, but she's talking to her mother about the Crosswires, and her mother says, "We Crosswires are just normal, ordinary folk." And I just thought, well, her mother's not a Crosswire. At least I'm assuming by maiden name she's not a Crosswire. But that just little things like that, little attention to detail that kind of slipped through the net. Francine's was very interesting because actually her family history was very fascinating. It just wasn't what she was looking for. And the message here is that you shouldn't be ashamed of your family history. I mean, unless you come from a line of murderers or something, but everybody has an important role to play, and what may not be that fascinating to you may actually be really fascinating to other people, as Francine finds out. And it's a really great message about that, but also it can encourage people to look into their family history. I know my paternal family history. I don't know that much about my maternal side. So it did kind of make me think, well, actually, what could my family have been like? I just assume that they've always lived in the same part of the world and they've always had the same kind of jobs, because that's a fair assumption. I don't for a second think that I've come from wealth or anything, but it made me think you never know. So if it encourages anybody to do a bit of genealogy, then I think that that's a great thing. It's really enjoyable with a really lovely message, and definitely an episode that I enjoyed watching.